Now at 5 a.m. on WKYT this morning, part of Leestown Road in Lexington is shut down right now after a FedEx truck hit two utility poles.
A third person charged in a Lexington murder case will appear in court this morning for a preliminary hearing.
And we're going to watch our temperatures this morning drop all day long as the winter's chill is finally catching up. We'll track it coming up for you.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning and welcome into you. I'm Rebecca Smith.
I'm Bill Bryant. We're glad you're with us. Bright and early this morning. Of course, we knew it was unusual and strange and couldn't last to have temperatures up around 70 degrees in December, right?
And now we're entering that phase, Jim, where you just want to stay in bed all day.
Yeah, that's what most people will want to do. And some people, not us, some people will be able to do that, though, as they're probably watching the clock tick away on the final few days of their vacation, their holiday vacation. Right now in Lexington, 48 degrees, 52 in Richmond, and then look in southeastern Kentucky, they're still holding on in the low 60s. All of this will continue to drop through the day. I think our afternoon readings are probably in the mid 40s for you. So we look at the forecast for today, much cooler, around 44 for the afternoon reading. Your highs are happening right now. We were in the low 50s a little while ago, and we're going to continue to watch those temperatures drop. When most people are out stirring around, they'll be in the mid 40s. More cool conditions coming and maybe even some flakes of snow as we head into 2016. I'll track those coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you, Jim.
Well, part of Leestown Road is closed this morning while Kentucky utilities crews repair two utility poles.
Right, just before 10 o'clock last night, a FedEx truck hit those two poles, and they've been working all night long. WKYT's Mark Barber is at the scene now with the latest. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Not only did this serious crash shut down Leestown Road, it has also knocked out power to dozens of homes in the area. Take a look over my shoulder right now. You can see utility workers out here working at this moment to put some of those utility poles that were damaged in this crash back up right. Now, we are told that this crash happened around 10 o'clock last night here near the intersection of North Yarnellton Pike and Leestown Road. Now, on the other side of our camera here, we have actually seen just a couple vehicles, some of them tractor trailers, turning around here in the past few minutes because of this road closure. So the inconvenience of it already starting to pile up early this morning. Now, we're told that this crash, again, it happened around 10 o'clock last night when a FedEx truck that was carrying two trailers went to move around a stopped vehicle that was on the road. Now, we're told that is when that FedEx truck dipped down into a ditch. When that driver tried to correct and get back up on the road, we're told that a utility pole actually got wedged between the two trailers that he was hauling. That is when we are told that that FedEx truck spilled over onto its side. It flipped, spilling all of its packages. Now, of course, those packages that were cleaned up, the cleanup this morning continues for those two utility poles that were snapped during the crash. A quick look at the outage map for this area just a few minutes ago showed that there are 83 homes without power at this moment. They're hoping to restore power to those dozens and dozens of customers here by 5:30, so in the next 30 minutes. As far as when this road could reopen, at this point there's still no word when that could be. We're told that they're working as quickly as they can, and as soon as they have any indication of when we can get this all cleaned up here and get traffic moving again, we will bring that to you. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. A third person charged in the Lexington murder case will appear in court in just a few hours.
DeMarcus Harris will go before a judge for a preliminary hearing. WKYT's Mike Byer joins us live from the news desk with the details on the case.
A murder suspect who is on the loose for months will appear in a Lexington court this morning for a preliminary hearing. 23-year-old DeMarcus Harris was arrested earlier this month near Columbus, Ohio, before being extradited back here to Kentucky. Harris is charged with the murder of 36-year-old Darnell Bates, who died in October of 2014. This after police say Harris was one of two men who forced their way into Bates' home in the 400 block of Addy Street and shot him in the back. Harris faces a long list of charges, including first-degree murder, first-degree robbery, first-degree burglary, among other charges. Now, police have charged two other people in the case as well. Last year, police charged 22-year-old Charles Patton and 23-year-old Caitlin Conway with murder and first-degree burglary. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Well, turning back to weather, most of the heavy rain has passed. There are still some chances for showers for the area.
And really for the next several days, that will be the case. Boyle County saw plenty of high water after the first rounds of rain. 5 families had to be evacuated from their homes on Christmas. The Sott family was able to stay in their home, and now they're trying to repair some of the damage left behind.
Just running in between the raindrops and trying to clean up, get the fences back up some, pick up the debris and stuff that got it float up in the yard and keeping it all in the water.
Sott said there was a mess left behind in his yard. Pieces of tin, a refrigerator, and 2 new tires among the things that all washed up.
High water has receded for most parts in other parts of central Kentucky. North of Lexington, the swollen Licking River had Nicholas County concerned. Many driveways and side roads were covered in high water over the last few days, but not too many people live near the swollen part of the river.
I'm very lucky. I only have 1 or 2 houses that's close to the river, and it takes quite a bit of rains, in the river to affect those houses.
There in Nicholas County, they didn't have to report any injuries because of the high water.
Folks out in Texas are picking up the pieces after deadly tornadoes turned homes into rubble.
The National Weather Service says an EF4 tornado with winds up to 180 miles an hour tore through the city of Garland. The tornadoes are part of a storm system that's blamed for 24 deaths in 3 states. Alina Machado surveys the damage.
The path of destruction carved by this deadly December tornado.
Oh, it's massive. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's big.
Is growing clearer by the day. The twister, part of a massive storm system that swept through Texas and parts of the Midwest over the weekend, killing 24 people. In Texas, 11 people died, 8 of them in Dallas County. On Monday, less than 48 hours after the storm, survivors were allowed back into some of the hardest hit areas for the first time. Carol Barnes was among them, her house barely standing, several cars piled up in front of the home.
I think I'm in shock right now because I really don't believe that happened.
Barnes and her family rode out the storm inside a bathroom. Her husband and her children held on as the twister tore through the home.
The walls started shaking and the house was rocking, and we just kept hearing this noise, just hold on, and then it was nothing.
They survived but lost everything in the storm. So did David Ruiz and his family.
You really don't know what's coming next. You don't know how to recover yet.
The family's 2 cats are still missing. The wintry mix that followed the tornado left little hope of salvaging much of what was left behind. But Ruiz says he's glad they have insurance, grateful they have the support of family and friends, and most of all, thankful his wife and 2 children survived.
Thankfully, a lot of family has been spending a lot of money so that we can recover, and we're able to eat and stay somewhere warm with a friend.
In Illinois and Missouri, more than a dozen people died after driving onto flooded roads. The victims include 4 foreign soldiers who were temporarily stationed at Fort Leonard Wood for training. Now people in both states are bracing for what could be record flooding in the coming days.
Well, Roulette, Texas, and Cynthiana, Kentucky, about 1,000 miles apart, but it doesn't necessarily feel that way for one Harrison County woman.
There's a connection. Adrian Curry is originally from Roulette, which was hit by a tornado on Saturday night. And when she heard about the tornado, she says she immediately started calling all of her family and friends there.
And it was just heartbreaking to see and read about, especially when I'm so far away. I can't help.
She is grateful that others are helping and giving donations to those affected by the tornadoes. Curry says none of her family and friends in the Dallas area were injured, but her aunt's home was destroyed. So certainly, bittersweet news as she contacted a lot of folks there. The time this morning coming up on 5:09 WKYT This Morning. We're just getting started. A lot more on the way.
The Coyote versus a Bat. Find out what happened between the two at the San Antonio Spurs game last night when we come back.
And we are tracking a chill in the air this morning. And it gets worse as the day wears on. We're doing a little flip in the pattern. I'll track all of it coming up for you.